بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to another session of التعبير القرآني with Dr. Fadil Saleh Samir Ra'i. And today, hopefully we'll finish chapter 1. But first, we're gonna just look at a few cases that maybe some people might be confused at, and we're gonna clarify some of those and make a correction of a mistake that I made. And then when we are done with the chapter, we're gonna do a complete reading of whatever portion was left behind, just so that we can try and follow along and see if we can be able to understand from reading. Okay. So yesterday, and maybe before we go to what we discussed yesterday, let's look at some of the corrections that I mentioned we needed to clarify, and perhaps something that also I need to clarify that perhaps may cause or may have caused some confusion. Okay, so let me clean this up first of all, because it looks like a monstrosity that happened here. Okay. We're going to start with this part because somebody was asking me about فيها من عجائب صنع الله ما لو اطلعت عليه لم تعرف كيف تصنع. So this part, and of course it kind of is similar to which other part. We'll just do that one. We'll do that one. And there was another part that was similar to it, but I think by clarifying this one, it should be okay. All right. So فيها من عجائب صنع الله. So if we're to say that this min is min زائدة, sorry, it's min تبعيدية. يعني the meaning, so here's the thing we need to understand. Min is a harf jar. We know this. We know it will act on an isim and make it majroor. We understand this. But min, just like we looked at fa, and we realized that fa has different meanings. Or we realize that in, for example, has different meanings. You have in tafsiriya, you have in nafiya, you have, different kinds of in that has different meanings. Does in stop being a harf nasab? No. In is still a harf nasab, but it has different meanings. It can be for negation, it can be for emphasis, it can be for explanation, it can be for quoting, it can be for different things. It can mean different things. Same thing with min. Min is a harf jar. It means it will still be a harf jar no matter what happens to it. It will still be a harf jar. But it can come with different meanings. It can mean a part, like tabi'id, this is what we are talking about. It can mean ibtida, like beginning, from the beginning. Yani if I said I went from Mecca to Medina. If I said I went from Mecca to Medina, it indicates that from Mecca is my beginning point. So the meaning of this mean is beginning, the beginning point, if you will. But if I said I ate one piece from the cake, I ate one piece from the cake. This mean from the cake, it is indicating a piece, a portion, a part of a whole. This min therefore has the meaning of tabi'id, of a part or a portion. You can have min bayaniya, min that explains, min that gives explanation or adds information to a situation, right? So you can have min having different meanings, but it is still a harf of jar. Now, if it is still a harf of jar, that means it is still a muta'alliq, right? So now, the question that becomes, fiha is muta'alliq, because it's jar majroor. Then you have من عجائب صنع الله ما لو اطلعت عليه لم تعرف كيف تصنع. This is one giant jar majroor. Then you ask yourself, okay, so this is متعلق to what? If this is a jar majroor متعلق and this is another giant jar majroor متعلق to what? So you can clearly see that it feels like there is something missing. Now, yes, you can have shartiya, yes, it can have the meaning of shart and so on and so on. That would be man, not min. Man shartiya. من is not شرطية. من شرطية. Okay. And من also, like من استفهامية, من شرطية, right? You can have من of different meanings as well. Yeah, that's exactly. And yeah, different kinds of an. Yes, in, you mean in شرطية, not an. In شرطية, yes. Okay. So the thing is, now we need to understand is that we need to figure out what is it متعلق to. Now, some people might look at this and say, okay, min عجائب صنع الله, maybe there's a break here, and therefore this ma is my mubtada. But if you look at it, it doesn't make sense. If you make ma the mubtada, then meaning-wise, it doesn't make sense. It only makes sense because this ma is a hal to this. That's, or sorry, a hal, yes. Yeah. It makes sense if it is a hal to that. All right. So that means this whole entire fragment is one bucket. Now, the thing is, there's something here that is probably محذوف. فيها عجائب من عجائب صنع الله. فيها عجب من عجائب صنع الله. In it, there's wonder from the wonders of Allah. In it, there's a secret from the secrets of Allah. So if you look at it that way, then you understand, oh, there's something محذوف here. So فيها عجب, and this عجب becomes now my مبتدا, and therefore this فيها is متعلق بالخبر مقدم, or number one, and then من عجائب صنع الله, this whole entire fragment is also متعلق بالخبر number two, and the مبتدا is محذوف. Okay, now there are cases where mubtadas can be محذوف if it is understood, if there is indication that can indicate that the mubtada can be محذوف, and I feel like there is indication here because it makes sense if you look at it. فيها عجب من عجائب صنع الله. Yeah, and I think there's another one of سر. Oh, here يمنحك سر من سرا, because this is مفعول به. يمنحك سرا من أسراره. Again, same thing if you're going to look at it as min تبعيدية. We took at it as it as صفة of sunnah. Sun'i. Oh, we took it, but Sun'i is proper. What did we say? We say it acts as alladhi. Is that what we did?
Yeah, in terms of allazi, we took this as a sifa because we were saying this is male. So
yeah,
ma is male. So we took this as a sifa of Sane. Basically, it's talking about the designing, that even if you are aware about the designing, you will not be able to design it. So
right.
It is basically describing sunnah. So we took this as a sifa of Sunni.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's something I probably need to figure out how. Yeah, sifa, hal. It's a very, yeah, I keep confusing those two anyway. I will clarify further, inshallah. But yeah, fine. Let's take malo this as a sifa if we said that's a sifa. So that would be a sifa. But the point that I'm trying to make is that this is a giant jar majroor muta'alliq to something that is mahdhuf. Okay, is that clear? Okay. And then the other mistake that I made was as far as this ما لم يكن ببال here. So let's figure that out. Okay. So same structure. فامنحه شيئا من التدبر والنظر يمنحك. So this is like the جواب الشرط we said. So this part is the أمر, and this is, sorry, not جواب الشرط but جواب الأمر. So you have the أمر and the جواب الأمر. Now we're going to focus on the جواب الأمر here. يمنحك من أسراره ما لم يكن منك ببال. يمنحك. يمنح, that would be our فعل. ك, this is our مفعول به, number 1. And then من أسراره. If we're going to say this min is تبعيدية, then it's min of something that is whole. Okay? A secret of the secrets. A secret from the secrets. So يمنحك سرا من أسراره. Okay, it's gonna give you, it's gonna grant you a secret from its secrets. So you have this sirran that is محذوف here, and that's going to be our مفعول به number 2. So this من أسراره is going to be متعلق to محذوف مفعول به of يمنحك. Okay, so the same concept kind of applies there, I think. And then you have this part, ما لم يكن منك ببال. Same thing with ما. We kind of explained the ma there, but that's not what I'm going to focus on. I want to focus on this ببال here. ما لم يكن منك ببال. Now here, I said that this is ba zaida, and therefore bal is the ism of kana. I was wrong. The bal here is not the ism of kana. It's actually متعلق to a khabar that is محذوف. So ما لم يكن منك like موجود ببالك. موجودا ببالك. Something that wasn't present for you to comprehend, for you to imagine. So that's kind of like what is being said. Yeah. Something that wasn't available for you to comprehend. So this, the ism of kana is the inside pronoun هو, and this ببال is متعلق to a khabar that is محذوف. So it's just a normal متعلق. It's not ba zaida. I made a mistake there. Clear so far? Is that good?
Can you repeat that, Stella, just one more time?
Okay.
Sorry, other sister was speaking. I interrupted her.
Did you? What question did you have?
It was
was
me,
it?
Sister.
Yes, go on.
I was asking, what is your thought process to know, as to make us know how to know that there is a khabar mahdoof or a mubtada mahdoof?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What thought process do we have to use to just know that the khabar or the mubtada are mahdoof? Because here earlier it was like bi zaida, and you're telling it like khabar is mahdoof to it, and earlier you said mubtada. So how would we know that there's something mubtada is hidden here and here the khabar is hidden?
Yeah, I think me too, I'm struggling with that same concept, because I think it comes with experience and a lot of knowledge of grammar, and also the context, just understanding what is happening. So there's some of these things that it's going to take some time for us to learn and to know. And we just have to kind of give it time. I had to check again because I wasn't really convinced myself when I was explaining that. I wasn't convinced that Bibal was the ism of kana, so I went and tried and check to see if there's there could be another explanation. And I think the idea that Bibal is متعلق to something محذوف makes more sense to me than the initial understanding. So yeah, it would just come. Yeah. With time, I guess. Right.
One more question. The min, still min tabaidiyya?
Yeah, min tabaidiyya.
Yeah.
Min asrarihi, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it still min tabaidiyya? And even in the top one, min ijaibin, is that min also tabaidiyya?
Yes. I would look at them as min tabaidiyya. Initially, I was looking at them as min zaida. And the reason why I was looking at min zaida, because I was trying to find the mubtada, or I was trying to find the maf'ul bihi. Where is the maf'ul bihi? Where is the mubtada? So it made sense to me that if you just remove the min, then you get your mubtada, or you get your مفعول به. I did think of it that it could be mahduf, just like, Sayyidah Fahima was asking, how do we know? I also didn't know, like, that's a possibility, because it's not something we are accustomed to look for something mahduf, right? So, yeah. That's
this here is a hal of asrarihi, right? Because it is proper. Asrar is a proper. So the ma here is a hal of asrarihi.
Yes.
Yeah. So why not up and the what I mean
okay.
ajaib?
Yeah, so that's a discussion, like I said, I'm going to confirm.
Okay,
because
okay, sure.
you have something that is proper followed by a ma, and whether can we take it as a sifa or a hal, that is something I need to go and confirm, because it's really confusing me whether it's a hal or it's a sifa. Yeah, I will confirm that and then get back to you. Okay, let's see what other questions. Can mean إصراره بفاعل of يمنحك. No. يمنحك, يمنح goes back to the فامنحه. امنحه يمنحك. Grant it, it grants you. Like if I say, how can I read the book? Read the book. It will be beneficial for you. Read the book. It will be beneficial for you. The it in it will be beneficial for you is referring back to the book that I just mentioned. Or I can just say, read it. It will be beneficial for you. So the it goes back to the it, which refers to a book of some sort. So it cannot be a fa'il there. It's going back to whatever is being mentioned min asrarihi. Istibaidiyya and zaida, same or different? Different. Min zaida is the kind of min that you can remove it from the sentence, and this you can do the i'rab of the sentence. For example, if I take this min as min zaida, I can just eliminate the min and read the sentence as if the min is not there. So I will say يمنحك أسرارا. يمنحك أسرارا. Now, how will I do the i'rab of أسرار? I would say أسرار is the مفعول به الثاني في محل نسب. في محل نسب. Why في محل نسب? Because there's a min. Right? So that's kind of like how you do the i'rab of min زائدة. But if it's min تبعيدية or min بيانية, this is still a jar مجرور متعلق. So that would be the difference.
Sister Ilam, over here, this min asrarahi, this min, you're taking it as tabi'idiyya?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Same thing
So
as min ajaib.
Min ajaib.
Yeah.
Okay. Why can't we take it as min zaida? For example, if we say that it will grant you its secret, so clarify me, help me to understand. We put min zaida only for a stressor, right?
Right.
Right. So it is a stressing that it will grant you its secret. So its secret is in bold. So why can't we put this min as a min zaida?
The reason why is because of the context of what the speaker is talking
stressor.
about. The reason for me is based on what the author or how the author is speaking. Because the author is talking about if you dive into the ocean, recall when he was talking about if you dive into the oceans of the Quran, you'll come out with what? With a single pearl that is precious. Or maybe the most you can do is a necklace, a couple of pearls, in other words. Right? And what remains therein? So much more. In other words, it won't grant you all of its secrets. It would just grant you maybe 1 or 2 secrets. Maybe. If you're lucky, 4 or 5. Right?
Okay.
So that's why I'm taking it as min tabi'idiyya in that sense.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, so based on that context.
Okay. Okay.
Any other question?
Is ma the ismu kana of yakun?
Actually, sorry, could you repeat that? I got confused a little bit. Is ma?
Is ma the ism of yakun? Like the
Mm.
yakun is going back to ma, right? What was on your mind? What was not on your mind?
Ma? No,
No?
no. The isim cannot come before yakun. Just like the fa'il
No,
cannot come before the fa'il.
yeah, but the yakun, the huwa is, it is actually the huwa, but the huwa is going back to ma, right?
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, yeah. The huwa
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
back to ma. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, in that sense, yeah. The huwa goes back to ma. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's a match, and that's why there's no a'id attached, because there's a match. All right. Any other question?
Can you translate ma lam yakun minka bibal, sisters, with her once?
ما لم يكن منك ببال, what you could not imagine. What you could not imagine. So this, what you could not have in your imagination, or what was not. Yeah, minka
Okay.
anta. Huh? It will grant you, يمنحك anta min asrarihi, from its secrets, what you could not imagine.
Sister Lam, should I ask you? Can I ask you? Instead of what you could not, can't we, instead of using what you could not imagine, right? Takun, why couldn't we use it takun? Simple. Lam takun bibal.
What does takun mean?
Becoming like knowing something which is okay. This is present tense. Okay, I got it. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Takun is feminine, right?
Yeah, yes.
Here takun.
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No,
So ما لم
thank you for
يكن.
asking that. Thank you for asking that question. I was also wondering
You're
about that.
also wondering the same.
I am
Got
still
stuck
confused.
there.
One more question. Are we taking this ma yakun minka bibalin as a maful of yamnaka, or are we taking this as a sifa of asrar?
Sifa. For now, we're taking it as a sifa until I confirm if it is a hal or a sifa. So now let's take it as a sifa. But I will confirm what happens in this scenario if it's a hal or a sifa.
It cannot be maful. It cannot be maful. I mean, I'm just brainstorming that it will grant you what you could not have imagined.
So we already said that there's something mahdoof, right? That this min asrarihi is muta'alliq to it, right? So yamnahka mada, it will grant you what? A secret. It will grant you a secret from its secrets. So this, basically this together, whatever is mahdoof and this muta'alliq is forming the maf'ul bihi number 2.
Okay.
Right, and of course this is connected to min asrarihi, like that, in that sense.
Okay, again, question. If it's a sifa, it will go to asrarihi, and if it's a hal, it will go to yamna.
If it's a hal, it would still go to asrarihi. Because now you have a proper, something that is proper followed by a jumla.
Okay. So it will
But wait,
go back to
maybe,
asrarihi.
yeah.
Because it's describing
Yeah.
how.
Yeah, it will go to yamnahka. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, then it makes more sense like a sifa. Yeah. There's no point for it to be a hal actually, because a hal of its secrets. Finding it difficult to understand, to make sense of it as a hal. Sifa makes more sense than a hal. So that's kind of like where I'm stuck. It will grant you from its secrets.
Sifa there.
Yeah, let's go
This
with
could
Sifa.
be hal. Hal is something like something at the same time, and sifa is just a description. So it is just
Yeah.
a description, right?
Yeah. Sifa makes more sense than hal in this particular
And
sense.
that's why I was clarifying.
Yeah, thanks for
Okay.
asking, because I don't know why this part always confuses me. So thank you for always asking so that we can clarify further and further. Any other questions on that part?
I'm sorry, Assalamu alaikum. I joined late, so maybe you already have talked, and I think she asked a question about yakun and minka. Even if it was, you said takun means here, but takun also means you. So why is a yakun instead of takun?
Because it's not referring to you becoming. It is referring to that thing. You cannot imagine it. It's not you being imagined, right? It's going back to like what Samia said. The huwa is going back to ma. It's not going to anta. It's going back to this ma. So the huwa is going back to this ma, and this ma is clarifying, is describing secrets.
So
Yeah?
secrets you cannot imagine.
Yes, secrets you cannot imagine. Exactly. That's what is being said.
Yeah, but then lam is with yakun.
Secrets that you could not imagine it. Let's add the it, which would be the aid. If at all we were to translate the aid, we would translate it like that, right? We would say secrets that you could not imagine them. That would be the aid. But because there's a match between them and secrets, that's why we are not translating the aid. We're just saying secrets that you could not imagine. Right? And of course, we're using yakun because yakun is huwa. Yakun is huwa, and it goes back to ma that is also huwa. Right? We normally use ma with huwa.
Right.
So I think that's
actually the secrets which you cannot imagine, it seems like you is the one who is doing the act of not imagining. So
Right.
that this mink, minka, it's I'm not able to fit in this mink, in that what you couldn't be able to imagine, what you couldn't imagine actually.
I see where the confusion is. It's like we're trying to figure out the parts.
Yeah, seems. Yeah, mutalik bil khabar. It's a mutalik bil khabar, but when it sounds like as if it is a file.
File.
Because you're doing the part of not able to get it, not able to imagine it. So that is making a confusion. Although this is yakun, you're not able to imagine it. Although it is referring back to yakun, it is going back to the asrari, but yet it sounds like that actually.
Okay, so now let me translate it in a way that it will make so much sense you would be surprised. Okay, what? Let me type it here in English. What is not possible for you to imagine? Ta-da! Did that now make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, I get it. I was over translating. We needed to oversimplify the translation. Yeah, what is not possible? So, yakun, what is not possible, or what is not couldn't we can translate it as possible in this case. What is not possible for you to imagine? Then minka for you to imagine. Bye. Yes.
I feel like we are still in that small boundaries which was set by Bayana, like off, on.
I know.
I'm not able to get out, right? What is not possible for me for. So that is like what was properly taught to us, word by word, and but now when you just try to frame
proper English, then you get lost. How it is mink is coming from there, and how does it's able to it because it's sounding like fire.
Yeah, I get it now. Yeah, I think the translation we took a different road there, and it's hard to make the connections in that sense. But if you translate like this, you're like, ah, okay, yeah, sure, Minka for you makes sense. Yeah.
So, Jazakallah khair. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, go. Okay. And of course, here, possible, you can even look at this possible as the خبر محذوف. ما لم يكن ممكن منك ببال. So you can even look at this possible as the خبر محذوف. And then the whole structure just kind of like makes the most sense in that sense.
You just added another wrench in the whole thing. You started with saying that there was a mazuk cover after
خبر.
minka, which was mawjud.
Yeah, I mean, it can be any, you can, when something is mahdoof, we normally just do taqdir, which is what is it called? Implication, or what is taqdir? We not make assumptions, but we kind of, we imply it. We say it could be this, or it could be that, it could be this. For
It could be
example, if I
mawjud,
said,
what you just said. Mumkin.
yeah, mumkin.
Okay.
Yeah, mumkin. Mumkin, I think, makes most sense. I was trying to find the other word that when I was researching this, it gave me like two words. ما لم يكن ما لم ما لم خطر ببالك or something like that. It used a different فعل, but I can't remember right now, so that's the problem. But there's something that is محذوف here. There's a خبر that is محذوف, which
And
could
you would put
mean
it
like,
after yakun so that it would make more sense. Mumkin.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all learning together. But I get your point actually. I really get it. Like it's important for us to, oh my God, we're almost at the top of the hour. We haven't started page this page. But anyway, alhamdulillah, it's
No,
good to clarify that.
I just wrote a sentence in the chat. I wrote فصلت أختي ألهام ما لم يكن منا ببالنا. Is this right?
Oh,
Is this
yes.
right?
Yes, it is right.
Okay.
It's right,
Okay.
mashallah. But you will need فصلت لنا. فصلت لنا. فصلة comes with lam to explain to. Oh, beautiful. I see Sadaqa Rasulullah is working. Alhamdulillah. Okay, any other questions on that part? Okay, let's see if we can be able to do something on this part. Yes, it's a phrase, bibal. خطر ببال. We normally say, well, you couldn't possibly, I can't think of something right now. ما خطر ببالي. If I say ما خطر ببالي, it's not coming to my mind. I can't be able to think about it right now. Like for example, I want to say something and then the word is lost in my mind. I would say ما خطر ببالي. ما خطر ببالي. It's kind of like a common phrase. Or لم يخطر ببالي. لم يخطر ببالي. It's a very good phrase to know. When you're stuck at an Arabic word and you're wondering, oh, what's that word? لم يخطر ببالي. ما خطر ببالي. Right? So it's a good phrase to have in your arsenal of words. All right. So we had finished the most difficult part. Again, let me just clear some of this stuff and then we can do the last section, hopefully, and see if we can be able to do the reading as well. I'm also going to just take this stuff out because we don't need them anymore. We explained them yesterday. Okay. So we have, then Allah continue. Sorry, not Allah. Dr. Fadil continues and he says, oh, unless there's somebody who wants to read, by the way. Somebody wants to read?
I can read.
Yes, go on.
بسم الله. ألم يسميه الله نورا فقال ربكم وأنزلنا إليكم نورا مبينا أولم يسميه الله روحا فقال فكذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا وإنك لتهدي إلى صراط مستقيم.
Just go on and finish the whole thing. It's finished.
فهو روح ونور وهل بعد ذلك شيء وهل قلبه شيء
قب
قلبه
قب لا
وهل
not قلب.
sorry قبله شيء
Mhm.
sorry ليت شعوري هل يفقه الناس
This is not شعوري.
يفقه
This is
الناس
later شعري.
شعري
Mm.
شعري which means
We'll talk about it. No problem. I'll explain to you.
ألا ليت الناس يفقهون.
ألا later. What kind of
الناس
a word is later?
يفقه ليت الناس
Oh, ناسا.
اسمه حرف نسب
Yes.
ليت الناس يفقهون.
Exactly. Beautiful. So you can see there's not much happening, but I will explain. I know this later sha'ri is kind of, it might need some explanation, but let's see what let's read through first. ألم يسمه الله نورا فقال, didn't Allah call it nur, يعني the Quran, didn't Allah call it nur when he said, I'm gonna skip this part because it's not in the original book. وأنزلنا إليكم نورا مبينا, and he sent to you نورا مبينا, clear or clarifying light. أولم يسمه الله روحا فقال, didn't Allah call it روح when he said وكذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا, and just like that we revealed to you a روح from us. ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان, you didn't know what the book was or what إيمان was, ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا. However, we made it a nur that we guide with it whoever we want from our slaves. وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ, and certainly you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's the one being addressed here. وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ, you certainly guide to the straight path. فَهُوَ روح ونور, certainly it is a ruh and a nur. Ruh, you can how can you translate nur? Ruh, I don't know, spirit, inspiration, soul, life even. So فهو روح, that's why I'm not translating ruh, because it's kind of difficult to translate what ruh is, and the way it has been used in the Quran in different ways to mean soul. Jibril is called ruh. Isa was blown the ruh of Allah. So ruh is kind of like a difficult word to translate. So anyway, Sha'rawi is saying that based on those ayats, the Quran has been called ruh, and it has also been called nur, light. وهل بعد ذلك شيء, and is there anything before that? وهل قبله شيء, and is there anything after that? ليت شعري هل يفقه الناس, how I wish. Do people really understand? Do people understand? ألا ليت الناس يفقهون, how I wish people understood. So that's the gist of what Sha'rawi is trying to say in this chapter. Okay, so let's go bit by bit. I hope that the meaning is clear. Let's go bit by bit and see. So ألم يسمه الله نورا, Hamzatul istifham. Lam is lam nafi, so it makes it majzoom, and that is why samma yusammi, the ya went away because it is majzoom. So it was samma yusammi, but because lam was beating up on yusammi, it lost a little bit of weight. It lost the ya. So now it is yusammi, just like that, yusammi. Okay, so yusammi is our fi'l, and the fa'il is the lafdul jalala, the outside pronoun. You can see the outside dua, it's rafa and it's outside. So this is the fa'il, and then of course the who here is the attached pronoun. And the reason why we are reading it as yusammihi is because before it is a kasra. Otherwise, sometimes we put a dhamma on it, right? So it's either who or he. And then nuran is our second maf'ul bihi. So yusammihi nuran. He calls, didn't he call it? What didn't he call it? Nur is our second maf'ul bihi, and I think that's pretty straightforward. Fa, qal, you can look at this fa as fa harf ataf. It's just connecting that part with this part. So faqal, qala, he said. Qala, fi'l and fa'il. Simple, easy peasy. And then this whole ayah is the maqul al-qawl مفعول به في محل نسب. This whole thing مفعول به of قال. All right, and then he goes on to say أولم يسمه الله روحا فقال. Now here he said ألم. Here he goes on to say أولم. Okay, what's the difference? The difference is that this waw is زائدة. That's the difference. And we know whenever you have something that is زائدة, it just adds emphasis to the, again, so he's speaking, he's going from one degree to the next degree, like he's adding emphasis. So that's kind of like what is just happening there. So instead of saying alam, he said awalam. So he added a waw zaida there. So we have harf istifham, hamzatul istifham, which is a harf, waw, which is also a harf, lam, which is also a harf, right? And the waw here is zaida. So this whole structure, just 3 harfs there back to back. And then yusammihi Allahu, same thing as yusammihi Allahu here in the beginning. Ruhan, same thing as Nuran here. Faqal, same i'rab going on there. And again, this whole thing in the quotes is the maqul al-qawl maf'ul bihi. It can't be aw. No, aw is a different word altogether. Wow is a different word altogether. So if you say aw, awlam, or didn't he? No, this is awalam. This is not awlam. I don't think there's any such a thing as awlam. I'm not so sure about that, but this is definitely awalam. Yeah, alam, awalam. Yeah, sometimes they add this waw zaida in this kind of structure. Yeah. All right. So
Yes,
this whole
because
area here. Go on.
I was just sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go on.
Apologies. No, so I was just thinking that so he is making a comparison, right? Like Allah named it as Nur, or he named it as Ruh. So I was
No, it's
taking
not
it.
or. It's
It is
and.
not or. It is
Yeah.
and. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You can even actually see next, he says, he called this wa nur.
Mm,
He called it ruh and nur.
mm,
Yeah. It's not ruh
okay.
aw nur. It's not ruh wa nur.
Okay, okay, okay. It's inclusive. Okay.
Yeah. It's inclusive.
Is he taking back the concept of what he discussed in the previous pair? Right? For example, he was discussing the light and then he was discussing about life. So is that what he is implying? That with
Yeah.
respect to light, he is tying nur, and with respect to ruh, he is tying wala hayyat nafusun ma'arabta. Is that what he is doing?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what he's trying to summarize. Like this Quran is light and it is life. And he had
Life.
already explained before, yeah, how
Hmm.
if you do tadabbur, it will give you light and it will give you life.
Life.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it ties up together nicely. Nice observation there. Okay, so that at least I hope that part is clear unless there's any other clarification. Then we come to this section. فهو روح ونور. مبتدا خبر معطوف to the خبر. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There's nothing complicated there. So you have هو is a جملة اسمية. هو is a مبتدا. روح is nakira and it's رفع. So that's our خبر. واو is a حرف عطف. That means نور is معطوف to روح. Right? It is روح and نور. وهل بعد ذلك شيء؟ Alright. وهل بعد ذلك شيء؟ So هل again حرف الاستفهام question word. بعد ذلك بعد is a special مضاف. So this is kind of a ظرف, right? And then you have شيء. This is a مبتدا. And it's nakira, so there's nothing special happening there. It's like if I say في لي قلم. I have a pen. لي قلم. There's nothing special there. It's not like لي القلم. If I put al there, then there's some special pen that I'm talking about. So this is just a normal مبتدا and متعلق بالخبر situation. Or you can look at it as a ظرف. You can even say بعد ذلك is just a ظرف, which is obviously a متعلق. All right. And then he repeats a similar sentence. وهل again question اسم استفهام. Sorry, حرف استفهام. قبله شيء. قبل same as بعد. قبل بعد opposites, right? And this is also another متعلق بالخبر. And شيء is a مبتدا. Right? وهل شيء قبله. وهل شيء بعده. That's another way of saying it.
Question here. Is there any significance of why he used بعد ذلك before قبله in the sentence?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why he. I mean, I guess he wants to bring up the idea before and after. So when you're talking about something, you start with before and after, right? You don't go after then before. Most people would speak like that. They would start from before and then they go to after. I imagine that's what he's trying to do as well here. Yeah.
But didn't
as
he
to
flip it? He brought up
oh, he
after.
yeah, he did flip it. Yeah, Sharawi. Sorry, Fadil, Sabir Ra'i. Yeah, my mind is all over the place with Sharawi, Dr. Fadil, and different texts. Anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, that is a strange way of speaking, isn't it? Like, is there anything after that? Is there anything before that? Yeah, but I guess I don't know why he said it like that. Yeah, his poetic style, maybe. I don't know.
It comes like when the I'm sorry.
Go on. Say the thing.
Isn't it like if the jar majroor comes or the zarf comes, the beginning of the sentence, it will be like comes like there, he's there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the meaning of it. But what Fawzia is asking is normally we say before and after. Normally when we speak, when we are referring to something, we normally start with before and then we say after. But he flipped it. He said after and then before, which is it's a little bit strange, but I don't know why. His style, maybe. Or maybe in Arabic it doesn't.
Maybe that's how it's maybe that's how it's done in Arabic. Maybe we'll have to read more text to find that out. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it does make sense because when you say something and you have said everything, then there's nothing to add. So is there anything after that?
Yeah, but then when you add وَهَلْ قَبْلَهُ شَيْءٌ, it kind of like was like, okay, you should have started with that. But I guess it goes back to his own style of exaggerative kind of language that he's speaking with, I guess. That's what I would suggest. So he could come before and he could come after. Yeah, I guess it's just that emphasis that he's trying to add to his style of speaking. All right, so this part, ليت شعري هل يفقه الناس. Okay. So this part, ليت شعري, what you need to know about this part, ليت شعري, is that this is an Arabic phrase. That's what you need to know. And that is how it is used. It is not sha'ri, it does not mean my hair. It is not shu'uri, my emotions. It's just later shi'ri. Just like that. How is it used? It is used to show tamanni, which is like wishful thinking or wishfulness. You're wishing for something. For example, you have two lovers and maybe the other one like is not saying much and you're like, oh, later shi'ri أعرف ما في قلبه. I wish I knew what was in his heart. Right? Or like later shi'ri. I wish I knew when you were coming. متى سترجع? When you were returning. ليت شعري متى سترجع? I wish I knew when you came back or you were coming back. ليت شعري. That's how it is used. Okay? So there's not, we cannot break this down. I cannot start and to tell you that later means how I wish. We all know that. And then شعري, what is شعري? My poems? How I wish my poems. You cannot connect this to the original meaning. You take it as a phrase. You take it the way it comes like this, and you use it the way they use it. So just like in English, you have certain phrases, like for example, break a leg. If I come and tell you break a leg, would you actually take your leg and go break it? You can't take it literally. Yeah, because it is a phrase and it's used in a particular situation to mean a particular thing. All right? Or beat about the bush. If I said he was just beating about the bush. Does it mean he took a stick and he was just going around beating the bush? That's not what it means, right? So you have these kinds of phrases in all languages. I don't know about Urdu. If I knew a couple, I would have, shared with you guys, but yeah. But you have these kinds of phrases that are used in a particular way to mean a particular thing. That is the same thing with later sharing. You just take it the way it is and you understand how it is used, right? So what he's saying is, how I wish I knew, or I wish I knew. هل يفقه الناس? Do people understand? Like, do people understand how amazing this Quran is? Like, I've just gone a chapter explaining to you how I wish people understood. بيت الشعر. How I wish I knew. Can people understand this? Right? So that's kind of like what is just what he's saying in that part. So if we were to break it down, of course, later is one of the sisters of Inna. So shi'ri, together, it's ism of later, في محل نسب. But of course, it's not showing its nasab because there's a ya that has been added to it. Remember, ya, or either you add ni or e. With verbs, you add e. With isms, you add ni. No, sorry, it's the opposite. With isms, you add e. With verbs, you add ni, right? هل يفقه الناس? Do people understand? Okay, so هل, we've talked about hal so many times. يفقه, yeah, thank you, SS, for this snapshot. So yeah, take it as it is. You can actually see it in Hanswear. I think this is Hanswear. Oh yeah, I think it's Hanswear. So you can see how it is taken as a phrase. فقه يفقه, to understand. So this is our فعل, and الناس, this is our فاعل. So this is not an attached pronoun. Be careful. This is part of the jidr. So people understand. And then you have ala, another harf that shows, again, how I wish. It shows this kind of wishful kind of type of thinking. So again, he's exaggerating the speech by using different ways of showing, what is it called? Wishful thinking or wishing for something. Tamanni. Ala. And then later, An-Nasa. So this is the sister of Inna, and this is its ism. So later and its ism, and together they form the mubtada. يفقهون, this is our khabar, and it's a jumla fi'aliyah, and inside that jumla fi'aliyah is the fi'al يفقه, and the fa'il is hum. The wow. Hum. ألا ليت الناس يفقهون. How I wish people understood. Right? It's like saying, I wish I knew. Will people understand? How I wish they understood. Like that's kind of like what he's saying. Yeah. Just to conclude that chapter. Any questions so far? Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Chapter done. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Sister Elam, can you just give me a quick English translation of the two regrets that he has?
Okay. So ليت شعري هل يفقه الناس? I wish I knew. Will people understand? I would even translate this in the future. Like, will people understand? Because يفقه, the مضارع can be translated as present and can be translated as future. So he's wishing that people will understand. Okay, so later شعري, I wish I knew. Will people understand? How I wish I knew people understood. How I wish people understood. Let me write it down so that is clear. I wish I knew. Will people understand? Like, I wish I knew if people will understand. That's kind of like, if you were to take it away from being a question, it will be, I wish I knew if people will be able to understand this. That's what he's saying. And then lastly, he says, how I wish people understood. Or people will be able to understand. Again, you can take it to the future and say, will be able to understand. And I hope that's a Baina like related translation. I tried to, let me see if I did. Later Shari, I wish I knew. Yeah. And then how I wish. Yeah. Okay, maybe understood here might confuse you because now this is Madi and Yafqahun is Mudara. So maybe we can just go with will understand. How I wish people will understand. Yeah, I think that would be more easy to digest and not over translate. Yeah, wouldn't people just understand? Right, yeah, that can also work. Yeah. Yeah, later Shari. How I wish, wouldn't people just understand? Right. ألا ليت الناس يفقهون. How I wish people understood. Yeah, that's a good way of translating the first part. ليت شعري هل يفقه الناس. But again, the problem why I didn't want to translate it like that, because now you're translating it as a negation and he doesn't have a negation. So again, somebody would ask you like, but where are you getting the negation? So, but the idea, that's the idea. Actually, that's the idea. Yeah. Any other questions? All right, fantastic. Guys, we are done. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's one question. Go on and say this, Amin.
Are we dropping Kabir now?
I don't know. I think we can discuss in, you guys will tell me. You will advise me what you want to do. Like, what do you guys
I don't
feel?
want to leave him. I don't want to leave you either. I want both of you together.
Yeah. We'll discuss in the group and you guys, and I mean, it would be nice to continue, but just depending on what you guys feel, how you feel you want to do it. I don't mind it. I'm almost finished. Like, I think I finished reading this book, maybe. I don't know. Maybe 2 more chapters remaining, I think, or 1. Because again, I have so many things that keep jumping from one thing to the other. So I don't know if I finished it or not. May Allah protect us. But yeah. I don't mind it. We can discuss the next steps, inshallah, in the group, and we can agree on what to do. Whether it's to continue with the next chapter or maybe a couple of, if you want a break, we can do a small break. I'm traveling actually next week, but I think I'll still be able to manage. I would manage to do some sessions, no problem. But we can discuss all that in the group, inshallah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no breaks. I don't mind that at all. Yeah. All right. Some people are going for Maghrib. I have a meeting. I need to confirm. And I will catch you again next week, inshallah, after we've decided what to do. So, Jazakumullahu khairan, all of you. Thank you so much. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'll see you guys next week.
Salam, rahmatullahi, barakatuh. May Allah keep you, afia, rahma, and neema, and keep you safe and sound in travel.
Yeah, of course, Sister Ilham is very precious for us.
All you are more
Yes.
precious to me, trust me.
Like that.
Allah.